Tonight we're in Austria for a very special occasion, the inaugural trip on the next generation of European night train, the ÖBB Nightjet sleeper pods, so let's go and check them out together. Join me as we travel over 1,000 kilometres with the Austrian national operator from wintry Vienna and crossing most of Germany up to Hamburg in the north of the country to fully experience this groundbreaking new sleeper accommodation. And doesn't Vienna just look amazing in the snow? This is the area around the Parliament. Anyway, let's head over to Wien Hauptbahnhof, the main station in the city, as our train departure is approaching. Trams and buses can both be accessed from the vicinity adjacent to the station's main entrance. I absolutely love this station. It's the perfect mix of modernity and functionality, but it's not too big so you can still find your way around easily enough. On the right side, when you walk in, are ticket offices for ÖBB along with private operators Westbahn and Regiojet. A wide variety of food outlets can be found on the ground floor, along with the ÖBB lounge accessible with a first class or sleeper cabin ticket, unfortunately not a pod ticket as this is classed as a couchette. On the underground level is access to the U-Bahn Metro and S-Bahn commuter networks. There are also many more shops, including a mega spa supermarket, restaurants, toilets and luggage lockers down here. Large electronic boards show both the train arrivals and departures, with the information being in both German and English. Our train tonight is NJ 490 to Hamburg and Amsterdam. Okay, let's head up to the platform now. They are all accessed by both lifts and escalators, making the whole station step-free from street to platform. You can find clear signage up here too, including digital platform indicators. There are also diagrams showing you which section your coach will be on the platform so you can stand in the correct place. And here comes our train, pulling in around 10 minutes before scheduled departure. These fixed formation 7-coach sets are hauled by a Siemens Taurus electric locomotive which has a top speed of 230 km per hour. The consist is made up of the following coaches: 1 seated, 1 multi-function with seats and an accessible cabin, 2 sleeper and 3 couchettes, all with a mix of normal bunks and the new pods. The Nightjet livery is one of my favourites around. I think it's both classy and smart. What do you think about it? Leave me a comment below. Now let's check out our route tonight from Vienna, Austria up to Hamburg, Germany.
I got a real club. It's the favorite club.
A big thanks to TrainPal for sponsoring this video. TrainPal is a money-saving app for UK and European rail tickets. I've personally been using them for over 3 years now and find their discount codes and split ticketing to be the best there is. Simply put in your route and dates and TrainPal will automatically find the best price for your journey using a combination of split tickets, saving you up to 90% on the full fare, and all of this with no booking fees. There is also a special offer at the moment where you can get 34% off UK rail cards and up to 5% off UK, Eurostar and European train tickets using my code Eurotrip. The rail cards are instantly delivered to you and can be used immediately to save a third on the price of UK rail tickets. You can also get 10 free ticket refunds or changes using the code TK77. For the best way to save money on UK or European train tickets, download the TrainPal app today. Once again, a big thanks to TrainPal for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's board. Step-free access is not available at most doors, but the multifunction coach, which contains the accessible compartment, is level with most platforms, otherwise a wheelchair lift can be requested. We'll be travelling in one of the groundbreaking new sleeper pods tonight. I think these individual compartments look fantastic and offer great privacy. They are very much designed like a capsule hotel and come at the same price as a normal couchette berth, but more on that soon. We depart on time at 8:10 PM. This trip is 1,100 kilometers and is scheduled to take 12 hours and 54 minutes of travel time, arriving in Hamburg at 9:04 tomorrow morning. The cheapest price that I could find now for one of these new private pods was €134.10, which isn't bad value. There was a special promotion for these early runs where it went as low as €75, which is honestly an amazing price. The base price of the ticket, which includes a standard seat reservation, is €29.20. They are dynamically priced though, so this can vary quite a lot, sometimes being over double. Tickets are easily bookable online through the ÖBB app and website up to 180 days before travel. Okay, let's check out these new sleeper pods. Upon boarding, you check in with the conductor who will issue you with a keycard to your pod. Steps and handles are provided for accessing the top berths. As with all couchette accommodations, you must make the bed up yourself. The pod is 6'3" in length and feels really spacious overall, as long as you're not too tall. The mattress and pillow are both very comfortable, as is the bedding. I'm sure it's going to be a very good night's sleep. There is a nice space at the window end to the side of your head for smaller items, drinks, wallets, phones, etc., which also includes a wireless charging pad. A storage pocket, reading light, European style power socket and USB-A port can be found above your head. I like the fact it's USB-A and not USB-C, as it's a lot more common for more devices on the power source end anyway. Each pod has its own small window equipped with both sun and blackout blinds. There is a connecting door to the adjacent pod which can be opened up if travelling with a friend or locked shut for your own privacy. There are hangers on the wall for bags and clothes to be hung up. There is a sliding table and desk which folds up flat against the wall but also slides along a runner. There is also a mirror on the underneath, very ingenuitive. The touchpad control panel on the wall allows you to control the lights. It also tells you if the toilets in your coach are occupied, and even dims after a few seconds, which is an excellent touch. You can even start your very own disco. There are 2 lockers provided, also opened by your keycard. A larger one for carry-on size luggage and backpacks, and a smaller one for shoes. Larger suitcases must be stored on separate racks in the multifunction coach, however these have excellent pin code lockable straps for your peace of mind. The only small downside to the pods is that the doors don't have a locked open position, so tend to close themselves when in motion, and you can't control their temperature independently either. I'm a huge fan of this new innovation, and where I would have booked out a private sleeper compartment previously, I'd be more than happy to spend the night in one of these pods with their excellent comfort and privacy.
Hi, it's my first time in Passau. Oh, yeah. Should I like it?
On crossing into Germany, there is a Schengen not Schengen ID check by the German police. If you want ad-free early access to every video, great perks, and to help me do bigger and better reviews, then become a channel member from just £1.99 per month. Just click the link above now or the join button in every video. Thank you! The 3 couchette compartments on this train come with 28 pods and 3 standard couchette compartments with 4 beds in each, making a total of 40 passengers per coach. Here's a look at the standard couchette compartments. They're very similar to the pods in their outfitting, but without the dividing walls or lockers. These are perfect if you're travelling in a family or group of 4. There is a lockable external door, and you can control the compartment temperature independently. Each couchette coach has 2 toilets and an additional washroom. These weren't particularly clean, but were fully working and kept stocked up with soap and toilet roll throughout the journey. The seated coach is laid out in a 2+2 configuration in a mix of both airline style and table seats. These are intended for shorter part journeys, but in theory you could do the full route in here, if you're mad or something. The seat reclines a small amount and the legroom is okay. There are 2 tray tables, one large for eating meals from or working on a laptop, and one small for watching content from a phone or tablet with a handily placed USB-A socket above. There is also wireless charging and a coat hook. A reading light can also be found integrated into the seat. The multifunction coach contains the accessible compartment, which has space for 2 wheelchair users and 2 companions. The accessible toilets are right next door.
Sehr gut.
It also has more seats, some ski racks and 6 bike spaces which must be reserved in advance for an extra charge of €16 per bike. The 2 sleeper coaches on the train have 8 Comfort and 1 Comfort Plus compartment each. This is a comfort compartment. I think they look great, very stylish and modern. The beds are by the window and face the direction of travel in a change to normal European sleeper train convention. The bedding is of a much more premium feel, fluffier and comfier than the Couchette. ÖBB have certainly upped their game in this department. The amenities are the same as the Couchettes, with wired and wireless charging available, individual temperature controls, along with a plethora of lights and lighting controls, including the multicoloured disco lights. All are en suite with showers, the comfort ones having an all-in-one wet room. The seating area can also be converted into a table for eating at or working from, another ingenious feature of this train. The Comfort Plus cabin is pretty similar to the Comfort one, except it's larger and the bunks are oriented across the coach. The ensuite also includes a separate shower cubicle too. Okay, time to head to sleep in the pod. Good night. After just a couple of hours of sleep, the train comes to an abrupt halt at Nuremberg. To cut a long story short, the locomotive failed and the train needed a reset, which meant all the lights coming on full, passenger announcements blaring, and all at nearly 2:30 AM. Not good. All in all, after a locomotive swap, we're now running around 3 hours late. Breakfast is included for both sleeper and couchette passengers, but it is much more comprehensive in the sleeper compartments and you get a choice from a menu which you fill in the night before. There is also a limited food and drinks menu which you can order from the conductor. See the link in the description below to check this out in more detail. Free Wi-Fi is also available for all on the train. We are now in the Hamburg suburbs, so let me give you my summary from the ÖBB Nightjet next generation trains travelling up from Vienna in one of the brand new pods. I think that ÖBB and Siemens have done a great job to breathe new life into their sleeper trains, listening to customers and really thinking outside the box with these new trains. The pods especially are stylish, functional and innovative, and will allow many more people to experience comfortable, private and safe overnight travel at a much better price point than was previously possible if they didn't want to use the shared couchettes. There were obviously a few niggles on this trip with the stock, and the loco failure caused a massive delay and disrupted sleep, but overall a massive step forward with the accommodation, and hopefully the teething problems are ironed out soon. Anyway, we now arrive to Hamburg Altona, this train's terminus, 3 hours and 7 minutes late. Have you been on any Nightjet sleeper trains before? How did these new pods compare to your experience in the sleeper or couchette compartment? Let me know in the comments below. By the way, I'm always open to new video ideas, so send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter if there's anything you really want to see on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe as I publish a new review every Friday. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next week.